So please stay with us as we move on to our next session, which is an exclusive presentation, and it will be presented by Mr. Vaibhav Gupta, who is the head of marketing and alliances from iSchoolConnect. If we can please have him on the screen. A very warm welcome to you, sir, at the World Education Summit. Uh,
Thank you so much, Pooja. Glad to be here. I hope I am audible.
Yes, yes, absolutely. You're audible. I will leave the virtual dais to you now for your presentation, and I'll come back for a few questionnaire later on. Then,
Absolutely. Thank
thank
you
you, sir.
so much, Pooja. And thank you all for joining me at this wonderful event, the World Education Summit 2021. And I'm glad to be given this opportunity to present iSchool Connect, to present my views, present how iSchool Connect, as well as is trying to make a difference to this entire community of career services, career counseling, international education, all that stuff. So let me share my presentation. Okay, just give me a couple of seconds and I'll begin. Uh, Pooja, can you confirm if my screen is visible? Pooja, it would be great if you can confirm if my screen is
Yes, it
visible.
is visible. It is visible. Am I
Okay,
audible?
great, great, great. Awesome. So for the past 1.5 years since COVID struck, uh, the pandemic struck the entire globe, what has been a key concern for several universities around India as well as around the globe is how they can empower career services uh, across their university, as well as how they can empower their students also with better career services. That includes recommendations, that includes job market, opening job sectors, because what has happened is that because of the constraint in economy, because of the constraint in the market, the how the market has contracted, what has impacted is the career services. That means the training and placement of students has been impacted across all universities, even the premier institutions such as the IITs and the IIMs across. Okay, so we actually at iSchool Connect have empowered. I'll take you through a case study which I'm going to take you through very shortly. How we have empowered an example, for example, SRM University through our bunch of host of services, and how we have empowered their career services uh, with by plugging in our tools, by plugging in iSchool Connect's backend services, and how they have transformed their entire career services, counseled students for a better future. Okay, so let me take you through a couple of samples, a couple of activities that we did for SRM University, which helped them on multiple fronts. Okay, so iSchool Connect, uh, in order to help students, help career services at SRM University, we did a bunch of host of activities for in tandem with their career services department, that is the training and placement department, as well as their international relationship department. And we did is that we organized multiple seminars, multiple workshops that were focused on multiple things. These were focused around profile building. These were focused around um, international education. They were focused around job interviews. That's how we communicated. We conducted those workshops through our internal experts, and more than 2,000 students across SRM University attended those workshops. Out of those 2,000 students, there were so many aspirants who wanted to pursue international education. Okay, we at iSchool Connect, with our strength in technology, with our strength in assisting students through AI, we helped more than 1,500 students across SRM University with their international education dream. Okay, iSchoolConnect plugged in our AI a lot into SRM University's internal systems and helped more than 200 students apply to more than 150 global institutions. So these 200 students applied to submitted more than 500 applications, and up till May end, more than 120 students have already received admits at SRM University at multiple organizations, multiple institutions such as Penn State, Duke, uh, University of Westminster, Temple. Several of them have been admitted into universities, top Ivy League universities such as Boston universities, NYU, uh, Carnegie Mellon University. So that shows that how the through the use of technology, how through proper guidance, students across the globe, across India, can actually can benefit or can actually come out of this whole pandemic situation and make and get a better future. Okay, through the use of technology, through the use of proper guidance, how universities, how colleges who are who think about the future of their students can actually benefit and take their institution global and make their students global citizens. Okay, so how did actually iSchoolConnect help uh, SRM University? Okay, so we became SRM University's study abroad backend. Okay, we helped them through three phases, which is the explore, apply, fly model that we call us. We helped them through multiple workshops, career guidance sessions. We gave access to our entire AI platform, which is again powered by Google. We are a Google partnered company, and it was powered by Google. Our entire AI is powered by Google. We plugged in that entire AI platform with SRM University. The students got access to our expert counselors, mentors, and they went across that entire process of applying, selecting the right career, choosing the right career path, be it jobs, be it international education, be it domestic education. They they used the iSchoolConnect products to make that right decision for themselves. Okay, so what typically we offer to universities? We offer them a host of services that includes uh, international connect. We give them access to our AI portal. Students get access to dedicated counselors, mentors. We conduct regular seminars and workshops across multiple uh, time durations. Okay, we work with a lot of Indian institutions such as SRM. We work with a lot of IITs. We work with BITS, Pilani as well, and we plug in iSchoolConnect as their study abroad partner, as well as their career guidance services as well. So all that happens in tandem with the career services department at institutions, and we help them build a better future. Okay. So yeah, please reach out to me for any other details. I'll be happy to take questions now.
Well, thank you so much for your presentation. If you can please speak about a little bit more about the blending learning system which we have in our
That's a good question, actually, Pooja. Blending learning system, actually, if you consider international universities, what is happening across the globe, almost all universities have introduced a blended learning course wherein they are mixing online along with offline as well. Yes, there are certain challenges which are happening that are happening in India, where we are entirely focused towards the online education, but a lot of universities across the globe, primarily the US, primarily Canada, Europe, where uh, the campuses are opening up. they are slowly migrating towards a blended side of courses. Yes, there are challenges. Universities and students have mentioned that they would perhaps love to have a slight more inclination towards offline course. But how blended helps is that it typically gives students the flexibility of learning as with the go. Okay, it helps students uh, be at the comfort of their home. Just to give you an example, iSchoolConnect is one of the world's largest AI proctoring company. We have seen more than 3 million students in the past 1 year taking tests and assessments at the comfort of their home, and that sends a very strong signal towards the adoption of blended learning. Okay, students want to study at home. They want to have that flexibility, but they also want to be at campus where they can mix up with their colleagues, they can mix up with their peers, and bring out that creativity, so that it actually helps them get more experiential learning along with the flexibility of hybrid learning. Hope that answers, hope that helps.
Yes, surely, of course. We are also having another question for you, that how
Please.
flexibility in learning will benefit the mass students in future. It will be readying them.
So definitely, Pooja. So there are two sides to it. Okay, one is the flexibility, one is the comfort which comes at home. Okay, then there is the experiential side which comes by being on campus, interacting with your peers, interacting with your faculties. So up till now, because there wasn't any pandemic before, there wasn't any focus towards the flexibility or towards the comfort of a student. Yes, we were seeing a rise in edtech companies, we were seeing a rise in blended side of learning, but it wasn't being widely adopted by a lot of students. Okay, with the onset of pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, there's been a wide range of acceptance. As I mentioned, more than 3 million of our students took use the iSchoolConnect assessment center for their assessments at home. Okay, so that shows the strength of blended learning, and students want that flexibility. Almost all examinations, take for example the GMAT, the GRE, the IELTS, the TOEFL, the SATs, they have all launched uh, tests at home. You can take these tests at home at the comfort of your home. You can be comfortable at your home and take those tests. So that shows that students are slowly and steadily moving towards that comfort. They want that flexibility, but trust me, that won't lead to that doesn't mean that uh, on campus life or experiential side of the learning is dead. That's never going to take away. And we have credible imperial data backing that up. So we recently conducted a very large survey of close to about 20,000 students, and students responded that they want campuses to be open. They want for their own international education, they want to go on campus, perhaps to the US, to the UK, to the Canada. They are not willing to spend so much of money just for that online course. Yes, they are open to the blended side, but they want to be on campus as well as they want online support for their education. So off-campus education is never going to die. That's for sure.
Absolutely. So that is very, very true that we all have grown up in that atmosphere, and now this kind of online education system, which is going to change with, and also with the new education policy, it has changed the entire scenario of the education system right now, globally. I mean, we are also having another question that what is the vision of your organization seeing this kind of situation since last year? If you can please tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That's a brilliant question. Thank you for bringing that up. So at iSchoolConnect, there the vision or the values that we adopt at iSchoolConnect are twofold. One is that we want to empower students to take the right decision through by putting in their own efforts. Okay, so that's the reason we built this entire DIY, do it yourself platform using AI, which the students can utilize for their career services, for their higher education preparation, without the need of any external help. Okay, that's the whole goal behind launching iSchoolConnect. Second of all, the major reason is that we want to empower universities across the globe. We work with a lot of universities in the US, in India, as well as the Canada and the Europe, where universities are using iSchoolConnect's technology to help their own students, okay, with career services, with job preparation, with higher education preparation. We want to empower universities so that they in turn can help students, they can help their own students, they can provide that value to their own students for a better future. Okay, currently there are a lot of universities, I won't say all universities, who are focusing upon that, but there's a lot of gap which is still prevalent, where universities or colleges don't have a credible or a solid uh, training and placement department or a career counselor. I have during my experience, during my research, I've seen that a lot of universities don't have dedicated counselors who are working exclusively with them to help students with higher education. Yes, the universities and colleges help with placements, but uh, universities these days, students these days needs guidance with respect to international education, with respect to their higher education, even in India. Okay, and we want to plug in iSchoolConnect to provide universities, provide colleges that gap, and it doesn't cost you much. Okay, it's fairly simple. uh, these seminars we conducted absolutely for free, these webinars we conducted absolutely for free. We do a lot of pro bono activities with students as well, where we are just giving in our platform to make them utilize and achieve their dreams. Okay, we have launched scholarships close to about $20,000, where students have actually utilized that and achieved their dreams for with respect to international education, with respect to domestic education. So we are there to make an impact across India as well as across the globe. I'm seeing a couple of questions here as well. Uh,
Yes, I was just about to ask you these two questions which we are having. So if you can please answer these two
yeah.
for us.
Uh, Examination cancels on higher education. Yes, that's a very good question. So almost all 12th standard students, the CBSE recently announced that 12th standard students have the CBSE examinations or the board examinations have been cancelled. Yes, that's going to impact in a big way. Okay, we are in touch with a lot of American universities and Canadian universities and checking, because try to understand, Indian students are a very big chunk for these American and international universities. Almost close to 6 lakh students travel abroad uh, and take admissions in these international universities. So, cancellation of this exam, there are certain speculations as to how will that impact. But as per the SOPs laid down by CBSE as well as the as well as the different state boards, the scores will eventually be calculated basis the pre-boards, basis the other examinations that the school has conducted, and a final score will be allocated to the student. Now, coming to the evaluation criteria, how will those scores be adapted by international education, by university admissions group? Okay, so they are too working on devising a formula wherein they'll plug in the university or their school scores as well as their other scores, be it the SAT scores, be it their TOEFL or the IELTS scores, and together give a ranking or give an acceptance to that student. Okay, so that's what the recent information we have got through our communications with a lot of universities. Yes, things will modify as time passes and more information comes from schools, from different government organizations, and we'll keep you updated on that aspect and how things modify. But as of now, universities have mentioned that they are in touch with their counterparts in India, Indian schools, as well as the government, and trying to figure out what can be the best way so that students don't get impacted, their careers don't get impacted. Okay. We have one more question.
Yes.
Global admissions major impacted by COVID. So absolutely. So just to give you some perspective, vis-a-vis 2019, 2020, because there was a large hue and cry with respect to the COVID-19, we saw a great dip in the number of applications from Indian students to international universities. This application dip was somewhere in the range of 50 to 65%. That's a large gap when it in terms of application dips. Okay, that actually resulted in a couple of changes across the admission criteria that global universities have set. Okay, there are several examples where universities, even Ivy League and top universities across the globe, have relaxed their admission criteria. Okay, I'll give you an example. INSEAD is one of the uh, top players, one of the top 10 global institutions for their MBA program. Okay, they even chucked off uh, their GMAT requirement for international students. That's a very big thing. Okay, they completely waived off the requirement of GMAT. Okay, there are several more examples of top universities who are waiving off or reducing their admission requirements in order to promote students to apply uh, to international universities. As a result, vis-a-vis 2020, 2021 has seen a massive rise of applications through students. Okay, close to about 70% jump in applications in 2021 in comparison to 2020. That's a huge rise. Okay, that shows that students, there are two factors because of this. One is that there was a backlog for 2019 and 2020, and those students are again applying for 2021. Plus, again, there are certain concerns with respect to India. When will the country open? When will the campuses open? There are certain speculations with respect to the future of higher education in India itself. Okay, 1 year lost for a student is a very big thing. Okay, they don't want to do that. That's the reason that parents nowadays are willing to spend a little more and get that international education for their students. Okay, so that's the reason that there is an uptick of international applications across India, and students are now actually willing to go abroad and study abroad because countries in the US, countries in Canada are also opening up. So that's the reason. That's what we have seen. Yes, there'll be definitely a dip uh, in India because students typically want that experiential learning, especially for their masters. Okay, where there's their labs, their labs. They want to collaborate with their peers for MBA programs and stuff. So yes, that will be there. But uh, overall, the situation in 2022 hopefully will calm down and will be in better position. We have a couple of more questions. I'll
Yes,
quickly
we are having a
take
lot
those
of
as
questions.
well.
You can please answer
Yes,
these.
absolutely. How many foreign universities want to submit their student results who get admissions by July and June 21? Students are in big dilemma as results are getting delayed. So let me clarify upon a few things. Okay, so in order to apply for your fall 2021, which is the July intake, uh, applications for all major universities are typically already closed. Okay, so what universities, especially for the undergrad level, they tend to do is that they take an aspirational sort of a score. Okay, so students who are specifically applying for their undergrad courses, they give their pre-board courses, pre-board scores, and basis that they are given an offer of an admit. Okay, your academic scores when it comes to international education plays a not a very significant role. Okay, your entire profile plays a very significant role. The internships that you have done, the community service that you have done, your extracurricular activities that you have done. Yes, there is importance to academics, that is somewhere in the range of 20 to 20% in the entire scheme of things. Okay, but there are a lot of other factors that play a pivotal role. Okay, so universities at the undergrad level, they give you a provisional admission offer, and once the students have an official score, they provide it to the university and they get a final admit or an offer. Okay, so that's how system works. So at the present moment, yes, universities across the globe are also still speculating. They are waiting for students to submit their approved scores, and hopefully in the next couple of months, the Indian boards and Indian schools will be able to provide that with the new guidelines that universities that the government has provided. That will hopefully be sorted for a lot of students who are planning to apply for their international education. One quick question: brain drain. Yes, that's a very good question. Okay, think for example. Okay, take. I want the audience over here to take their own children for example. Okay, India is a large country. Okay, there's so much of competition, and every parent is so aspirational, so dedicated. Even the kids these days are so aspirational, so dedicated that everybody wants to get into an IIT or an IIM or the top tier colleges across the globe. Okay, at least they try, they aim for it. Okay, take you and me for example. During our college days as well, we would have strived or aimed to get into an IIM or an IIT. Okay, but for all students, it's eventually not possible. Okay, so that's the reason that student typically applies for colleges abroad as well. Okay, I'm in my perception. That's again an opinion from myself as only. Okay, I would like to comment upon that. That everybody should be given equal opportunity. 1 or 2 marks typically what changes is that your ranking switches by at least 10,000, 20,000, at least in India, because there's so much of competition. That 1 or 2 marks doesn't mean that there's a huge difference between the caliber of two individuals. Okay, I personally believe that all both these two students or the 10,000 students in between those two rankings are of the same caliber and need that same level of opportunities. Okay, so I don't take it as a brain drain sort of a thing. It's just I consider it that students are getting equal opportunity and they deserve to get that equal opportunity. uh, Hope that answers the question. It's a very controversial sort of a question. There are different thoughts and which can actually are prevalent, and I appreciate thoughts of other of my fellow colleagues as well. And I would say there's no right or wrong answer to this.
Well, we have to, as for this time constraint, we have to end this session today. And I'm sure as we received the questions today, the audience have loved your performance and the presentation which you have given. Thank you so much for being with us, Vaibhavji, for this presenting with us and telling the audience about the kind of scenario which the education system is having right now. So please stay tuned for the other sessions which we'll be having at 2 o'clock again. So
Absolutely.
thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Pooja, for having me here, and thank you so much for bearing with me, listening to my jibber jabber. Thank you so much, guys.